Monday Night Chat with Wong Chen.
Brought to you by the Member of Parliament for Kelana Jaya in collaboration with Invo.
Hi everyone and welcome back to Monday Night Chat, and believe it or not, this is our 30th episode! Yeah, so we made it to 30 from our humble day, starting with Facebook Live right up to this pre-recording thing. So we're gonna start this segment with the interns talking about what they are researching currently. Thank you!
Hey guys, Leann here. I'm from Monash, studying global studies and writing. My areas of interest include studying forms of discrimination such as gender, race, class, ableism, ageism, stuff like that. I find it is important to consider these issues whenever I write policy papers for YB Wong Chen or even papers for university, because I believe that these issues cut across all disciplines, and oftentimes when we think of privilege and discrimination, we are conditioned so well by society, by our environment, that we forget we have privilege and we don't identify or detect when we discriminate other people.
Hi, Ivan here.
And I'm Megan.
So we're currently collaborating on a paper.
Entitled Malaysia's Soft Power. We are exploring our country's soft powers.
So Megan, can you have to explain what soft power?
Okay, soft power is basically the opposite of hard power, if you didn't know. But basically, it is a persuasive approach through economic, culture, and social means to make a change. Yeah, Google it. My definition maybe is not right or half right. Yeah. But anyways, we are currently looking at various specific sectors in Malaysia. We are looking at food, natural resources like hardwood, and what is the other one?
Ecotourism,
Yeah.
our multicultural,
Multiculturalism, yeah, and infrastructure.
yeah,
Yes.
our twin towers.
Yeah. So we are currently looking at all these various sectors,
And we are comparing it with different models from different countries.
Yeah.
Like how did the government implement them or enhance them?
yeah, and how much money should be implemented in
How much should the
enhancing
government put in.
in enhancing Malaysia's soft power. So we hope that it will get published soon and everything will go smoothly. Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Palmi, and basically we were all given a research paper to work on, and so the topic that I picked was the indigenous people of Malaysia, which are the Orang Asli, particularly those in Peninsular Malaysia. The reason why I picked this topic, I know it's quite random, but it was actually because last year I watched an Al Jazeera documentary on the missing children of Kelantan and how just the boarding school environment was really bad, and how these children were not reported missing, and so a lot of the Orang Asli children and even the adults undergo some sort of discrimination, and I really wanted to understand their current situation better, so that's why I chose this topic. And so I'm looking into three aspects, and Boss guided me through. So the first would be healthcare. A very significant problem which I found was quite devastating was actually the fact that a lot of Orang Asli lack birth certification. So it's really this process and just how sorry. So this entire few weeks I've just been working on looking into previous efforts by NGOs and things like that, as well as how other countries deal with the medical problem for their indigenous people and their indigenous groups. And then apart from that, I'm also looking to education, because I feel that education is one of the ways to diminish poverty. And so just looking into the other aspects of how other countries do help try and resolve this issue, particularly Australia and Norway. And so that's really basically my research paper, and I do hope to work on a different paper maybe, but until then I still find that this topic is really interesting. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, for Q&A this week, just to let you all know, Megan is in charge. Megan's our intern, and she's going to join us in December this year. So she's basically doing her training. She's taking over from Tanya today's Q&A program. Okay, so as usual, we have 3 questions. The first question: what are my opinions about the so-called pink diamond necklace that was given by Jho Low, allegedly given by Jho Low to Rosmah, or MO1's wife? Now, very simple. First thing, she has to, if she wants to, she has to publicly state whether she has such a pink diamond necklace worth $27 million US. That's the first thing she has to do. But what Raman Dalan has said, that the DOJ should charge her and ask for the amount, the diamond back, if they really are interested in the matter, seems to imply that she actually has the diamond. So we all await the First Lady of Malaysia to tell us, does she have it or doesn't she have it? If she does have it, I think it is advisable, like Miranda Kerr, to return it back to the DOJ, because having possession of such a diamond necklace, supposedly bought from the stolen money of 1MDB, is a crime. You either be charged for money laundering, or you'll be charged for stolen possession of stolen goods. Okay. Now, second question on the 60 items on GST, the quick U-turn by the Finance Minister. Now, the Finance Minister is a good friend of mine, Johari Ghani. We've known each other for some time, and we do have very good open discussion. But on this particular matter, he was completely wrong in that the 60 GST items that was added in actually came from his finance office. It was actually debated in Parliament last session. It was actually presented by his deputy of Manazis on this matter. So Johari has to admit this issue and just move on. Now, the third issue is on the RCI, on the forex losses during Dr. Mahathir's time. Now, we all know that the forex losses happened somewhere in the 1990s, early 1990s to the mid 1990s. We have also the public announcement by the government that the losses were about 9 billion ringgit. Yeah, but at the start of the year, when the quarrel between Dr. Mahathir and Najib has gone full blown, at the start of the year, we had some people saying that the amount could be up to US 10 billion of losses. US 10 billion of losses means about 44 billion today, which roughly translate in 1990 terms somewhere closer to about 80 billion of losses. That will make it the single biggest loss ever suffered by the Malaysian government. That being the case, I think the RCI must go on, and we must give the opportunity for Dr. Mahathir to defend himself. He may have been a prime minister, but obviously the forex losses came from the government, from Bank Negara itself. So it'll be interesting to see after 30 years or so whether you can actually produce anything of value, or whether this is just another witch hunt by the Najib administration as a personal vendetta to Dr. Mahathir. But having said all that, I think an RCI must be done because of the quantity, but at the same time, please do give Dr. Mahathir the due process of a fair trial, and we would also like to see 1MDB having an RCI of its own. That's it for Q&A this week. Okay, Policy Monday this week. We're going to talk about oil and gas industry. As you know, at the start of the year, sometime in January, February, we published a very important oil and gas paper where we predict when the oil and gas in Malaysia may run out. Yeah, so this is a follow-up on that issue. This is based primarily because there was a Bloomberg report out about last month regarding the issue about projected consumption of oil globally. Yeah, to recall everything, oil and gas is extremely important to the Malaysian economy. It contributes roughly about 70 billion a year at the height of the oil revenues to the government of Malaysia, for the government to use it for for operations, which is to pay salary of civil servants, to carry out programs. Now, that number of 70 billion a year has significantly dropped to about 35-40 billion a year due to the fall in oil prices. And oil prices today, despite all the news coming out from the Middle East, including the new Qatar quarrel, has not really improved significantly. It is hovering close to about 43, 44, 45 US dollar per barrel. At this rate, the Malaysian revenue may shrink even lower to about 30-35 billion a year in terms of revenue for the government. Now, the Bloomberg report that I'm talking about talks about, they chart the projection of future consumption of oil. Yeah, today, as we speak, in 2017, we are consuming roughly 95 million barrels per day globally. The whole world consumes 95 million barrels of oil per day. Yeah. Now, most oil companies are predicting that this number by 2040 will increase to about 110 million barrels per day. Now, the Bloomberg team has done numbers the other way around. They are predicting a fall in consumption of oil by 2014, which means that by 2014, oil consumption globally, starting from about 95 million barrels per day, will in fact drop to 75 million barrels per day. And they cite three reasons for this. One is the improvement of the combustion engine in cars. Efficiency in technology means that cars will consume less oil. Number two is the fact that electric cars will start to displace normal fuel cars, or what you call petrol cars. So electric cars will drop the consumption of oil. And then the third issue is that the power plants that generate electricity for us will be switching more and more dependent on green technology, which means consumption of fossil fuel will drop, the rise of wind, solar, nuclear will increase. Now, on these three major points, they are predicting a drop in global consumption of oil from 95 million barrels today to 75 million barrels in 2040. What does this mean? If consumption of oil drops, Malaysia's dependency on oil needs to switch quickly to dependency on other revenue incomes. Our economy generally have to stop relying on oil. And if these predictions from Bloomberg is real, and by the looks on the surface, it seems very logical, then we really have to fix our fiscal problem now, today. Because by 2040, we will not only face the end of oil supply or what we call peak production of oil, we will also see a 20-30% drop in consumption. Therefore, prices will always remain low for the next 20-30 years. That's it for Public Policy Monday.